The ongoing rehabilitation of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway by the federal government remains top priority as one in the list of road projects earmarked for reconstruction due to its economic importance, as it also serves as a major corridor to other parts of the country. In line with the renewed hope vision of the present administration, the Minister of Works, David Umahi, upon assumption of office, announced government's plan to carry out repairs of some major roads and bridges across the Federation already in the blueprint. Some of these projects expected to be completed in record time involves a comprehensive rehabilitation work. In Lagos State, for instance, a comprehensive rehabilitation of upper and lower decks of federal bridges have already commenced, while initiation of the coastal road that will stretch from Eko Atlantic City in Lagos Island all the way to Calabar and many more across the Federation is also in pipeline. So on Panorama this week, we will be looking into the extent of rehabilitation work ongoing on the upper deck of the third mainland bridge and other bridges, prospects of other road projects, and scope of work to be done. Be reminded that you can follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.gov.ng and on our other social media platforms. I am Adeola Komiakere. Welcome to Panorama. President Bola Tinubu has continued to market the potential in Nigeria as he proudly told international investors that beyond Nigeria's natural resources, the people of Nigeria who are highly educated, highly skilled, and naturally industrious are the primary assets and advantage the country wields over other nations in the global race for new investments. The President spoke at a panel discussion titled Fostering Local Value Chains and Investment in Africa, the Role of the German Private Sector at the G20 Compact with Africa Economic Conference hosted by German Chancellor Olaf Scholz. In a statement by the presidential advisor on media and publicity, Ajurin Gelale, the president noted that while promoting the rule of law is crucial for attracting foreign investment, Nigeria's energetic youth population and well-educated populace represent the greatest incentive provided to investors towards the mutually beneficial replication of China's economic resurgence. He declared that Nigeria is dogged in its pursuit of natural gas development today in tandem with hydrogen production for tomorrow, adding that the country is going a step further by creating fiscal responsibility and tax reforms as it reforms its financial institutions to expeditiously accommodate foreign investment. The president acknowledged that Africa has moved beyond the false past notions of business disincentivization and poor adherence to the rule of law, as the continent now fully recognizes the nexus between the inflow of investor money and the sanctity of contracts. President Tinubu appraised the summit of the country's intentional move towards developing labor incentive sectors of the Nigerian economy for massive job creation, as well as a new emphasis on technological progress and new opportunities in Nigeria's rapidly expanding information and communications technology space. The president assured potential investors that Nigeria has moved beyond restrictive policies and today capital can be moved in and out of the country freely, providing flexibility for investors. While persuading German automobile firms to establish manufacturing plants in Nigeria, he invited German businesses to take advantage of investment opportunities in multiple sectors, following the successful visit of the German Chancellor to Nigeria in October. Earlier, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz noted the dynamic and evolving nature of economic relations between the developed and developing nations of the world as he positions Germany to enhance partnership with Nigeria and Africa on a mutually beneficial basis. Our panelists at the discussion were the German Federal Chancellor Olaf Scholz, President Alassane Ouattara of Cote d'Ivoire, Prime Minister Aziz Achanok of Morocco, President Macky Sall of Senegal, Sabine Dallomo, Chairperson of Africa Verein, German Africa Business Association, and CEO of Sub-Saharan Africa Siemens AG. President Bola Tinubu is to host notable German business chief executives at a Nigeria-Germany Business Roundtable in Berlin today. The federal government has approved the constitution of a multi-sectoral committee on human capital development made up of the federal and state governments as well as donor agencies expected to convene every 2 weeks to review the progress of work. State House correspondent Abdul Rahman Jibrila reports that this is the outcome of Vice President Kashim Shettima's meeting with World Bank's country director for Nigeria, Shobham Chaudhuri, and other key players.
The meeting chaired by Vice President Kashim Shettima stressed the need for government and partners to invest in human capital development to create a workforce that is not just globally competitive, but also adaptable to the modern demands of the 21st century. Acknowledging the significant impact the two Nigerian wealthy businessmen, Dangote and Elumelu, have impacted on the population, the Vice President noted that the rises and fall of any nation depends on the quality of its leadership. Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Ali Pate, extols the current efforts the federal government is making, putting the people at the center of the renewed hope agenda, even as he underscored the importance of investing in human resources. The chairman of the Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, and the founder of Tony Elumelu Foundation, Mr. Tony Elumelu, commended the foresight of government in convening the meeting, noting that it underpins the commitment of the Tinubu administration to addressing challenges around human capital development. While pledging support for the administration's program, they call on stakeholders to work diligently towards tackling the challenges of inaccurate data, describing it as the biggest problem in the task of addressing human capital development.
They are the major employers, as well as others that are employing our youth. How does government create an enabling environment in partnership with these actors so that Nigeria continues to grow and uses the human potential that it has, and that it will use those human potentials to get to the greatness that is in its future.
Our own, as philanthropists, is for us to partner with the government and make sure that, yes, they do what is right, and also to put our money on the table, and we are ready to do so.
We need to think about these young people. We need to think about our future as a country. We need to prioritize our young ones. We need to develop them, we need to give them economic hope and opportunities so that we can collectively develop and then say no to extremism and yes to prosperity.
The World Bank country director in Nigeria pledged the bank's support for the program, especially in the areas of technical assistance and strengthening of databases. In March 2018, the National Economic Council had, at its special session, launched a dedicated human capital development program in response to Nigeria's dismal performance in all global indexes of human capital development. The program focuses on 3 thematic areas: health and nutrition, labor force participation, and education. From the State House, Abdurrahman Jibrila, NTA News.
The House of Representatives Committee on Finance says it will carry out status inquiry on National Lottery Commission following what it calls unsatisfactory explanations on revenue generation and expenditure of the Commission. National Assembly correspondent Isa Mohammed reports that several other agencies were also at the medium-term expenditure framework meeting. And moving on now, realizing the dominant role the Nigerian Navy plays in safeguarding the nation's territorial waters beyond the Gulf of Guinea, the Senate Committee on Navy has promised to sustain the momentum with improved budgetary allocation focused on upscaling fleet's capacity for increased preference at sea. The chairman of the committee, Otumba General Benga, while on oversight visit to the Western Naval Command in Lagos, also said Tongeji Island in Ogun State will soon be occupied by the Navy.
With renewed commitment and investment in maritime infrastructure, the Nigerian Navy has spearheaded a process that has changed the fortune of the once troubled water in the Gulf of Guinea. Sustaining the momentum is not just key to economic prosperity, but equally important to safeguarding the maritime ecospace from threats. This the Senate Committee on Navy is aware of, and this visit to the Western Naval Command is to offer legislative support needed to strengthen capacity.
Part of what we want to do, talking about budgeting, is to put emphasis on the maintenance and repairs of some of these vessels, to push that there is spare part acquisition.
The chairman of the committee said areas of infrastructural gap will be addressed, starting with the provision of a jetty at the seaward end of Badagry.
When you look at some of, especially with people who are doing illegal bunkering, illegal smuggling, all manner of illicit thing that's going on, without a jetty in Badagry, it's like it's an uphill task.
The flag officer commanding Western Naval Command sees the oversight visit as a morale booster for its officers and men.
I am more passionate about fighting smuggling across the Nigerian-Benin border, and the promises I got from the Senator help us to achieve our mandate in that regard, particularly with the creation of Tongeji Island.
Inputs and observations from the oversight visit will assist the committee in prioritizing area of needs for the Navy, especially in next year's budgetary provision. In Lagos, Michael Olale, NTA News.
The State House has issued a statement responding to allegations made by the People's Democratic Party and the spokesman of Atiku Abubakar against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The statement indicates that the allegations by PDP and its defeated presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar assaulted the integrity of the judiciary and made wild libelous allegations against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the wake of the poor run of some elected governors of the party at the appeal court. The PDP and former vice president and his spokesman have become overtly desperate to hang their woes on President Tinubu and the judiciary, an important arm of government in Nigeria. In blaming others, Atiku and his party have failed to demonstrate leadership before going public with their weighty allegations, as President Tinubu is a Democrat to the core who has not interfered with the judgment of the judiciary under his watch. The PDP governor in Osun defeated the APC at the Supreme Court, and PDP governor in Bauchi also won his case in the appeal court, beating the APC. President Tinubu is also not planning to impose a one-party state, as Atiku has serially alleged, and his party and spokesmen have now parroted. These allegations, which exist only in the imagination of the PDP and Atiku Abubakar, the statement adds, are deliberately aimed at heating up the polity and causing disenchantment in our country. Nigerians are therefore urged to discountenance the malicious allegations by the PDP and its candidates. The fact remains that President Tinubu's record as a Democrat par excellence and a strong advocate of the rule of law have been globally acknowledged, unlike Atiku Abubakar, who recently confessed about the electoral haste his party executed in the Southwest in 2003, which Tinubu survived out of the 6 governors of the defunct Alliance for Democracy. His record of service as governor, which witnessed giant strides in various facets of the state, was responsible for the dominance of his political structure in Lagos, and not by any undemocratic conduct, as Atiku Abubakar wants the public to believe. We'll now take a break. More reports on Panorama when we return. Please stay. We're glad to know you're still with adequate arrangements already put in place for traffic diversion around the closed Adekunle ramp on the Third Mainland Bridge. Repair work is progressing in line with timeline of the project. Joel Kokmola reports that road users unanimously agreed that Third Mainland Bridge is due for comprehensive repair, but wants speedy completion to ease their plans.
After a series of palliative repairs on the Third Mainland Bridge, comprehensive repair is a solution to fix the potholes and replace some expansion joints and parapets to give the bridge a brand new look. This necessitated closure of the Adekunle ramp for commencement of comprehensive repairs. Construction work is being intensified in that section of the bridge, which has been closed to traffic. While many avoid the route, those who have no choice now have to go the extra mile.
For you to have access to that area, you have to pass through Pangrove, Mojo-Elegba to be able to have access to that area. It's quite very difficult, but I hope maybe in a couple of few months, I think that place should be done. Then everybody can have free access to that place and have a convenient time to go around Lagos.
For these commuters, the repair is long overdue, while the envisaged traffic gridlock has been minimal.
We have noticed a little traffic towards the Adekunle axis, but then as of yesterday, there was a little traffic inward this side. But then I can say for a fact the traffic is not really as consistent as it used to be, but then just little traffic on busy working days. But then I can say for a fact, if I start plying the road by this time, I would know it to be free by that time.
Compared to how it was before, they have done a little repairs.
Respondents called for better management of the alternative route. The comprehensive repair is expected to address most of the teething problems on the Third Mainland Bridge. In Lagos, Joel Kokmola, NTA News.
And joining us live in the studio to talk more on the comprehensive repair works of the Third Mainland Bridge is the Federal Works, Mr. Solu Korede Keisha. Welcome to Panorama.
Thank you.
Okay, now let's start with the minds of everyone that's navigating from the island to the mainland through the Third Mainland Bridge. Why is the rehabilitation described as comprehensive?
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me.
Okay, you're welcome.
It's been described as comprehensive because in time past, all we do is to attend the failures that surface. Okay. But what we want to do now, even before the failure surfaces, we want to attend to it. And then you agree with me that some of the guardrails are missing, which we haven't done in a while. Some of the walkway, they have a lot of, maybe some of them have cracks. We're going to fix them. Expansion joints that are effective, we want to remove them and replace them. We're going to put solar lights everywhere, median and parapets. We haven't done that in a while. Even as we speak, no lights at the parapets, but we want to introduce that. Then we would like to do lane marking, paint the parapets and the median.
Okay.
So,
well, we usually see remedial works, being carried out on roads on the Third Mainland Bridge, and within a certain period, you start seeing potholes, coming on again on the Third Mainland Bridge. Is it that substandard materials are used? What assurances are you giving Nigerians now that this comprehensive work will not in the next 6 months see potholes resurfacing on the bridges you were working on?
When the past administration was winding up, they awarded repairs of the failures on Third Mainland Bridge, which was what we have been doing. When the failure shows up at a section, we attend to it. We leave other areas that seem to be good. But because the road was done at the same time, the failures won't show at the same time. You understand? They will show up at other times. So what we do is, once the failure shows up here, we quickly intervene there. We leave the area that is still good. Within the next few months, you discover that that area that you think was good 6 months ago will show up. It's not the same area. Third Mainland Bridge is a long stretch. It's about 12 kilometers. Okay. So when failure appears there, we do it. When it appears there, we do it. That's what we've been doing year in, year out. But now, even the areas that have not shown failure, we want to give that road a new lease of life. That's what we want to do now.
I'm sure.
So that in the next at least 5 years,
we'll not have issues of spending money on the Third Mainland Bridge again. So that'll be good news for motorists plying that road. Now, what other bridges in Lagos will get the same attention, or is it just only the Third Mainland Bridge?
No, all the bridges are receiving attention at the moment, with the exception of Qatar Bridge.
Okay.
Qatar Bridge and Liverpool Bridge. Those are the two major bridges that we're not attending to at the moment, but we have scoped them. Okay. I'm waiting for federal government approval.
Before
yes. Eko Bridge is being worked upon. Third Mainland Bridge is being worked upon. A contract will soon emerge now, whereby the under of the deck of Third Mainland Bridge,
the one you call the lower deck,
yes, will be attended to.
Okay. Now, are there any new development? Because definitely this comprehensive work will definitely, affect movement, from the island. What should people expect at this time? I mean, in terms of movement.
On Third Mainland,
yes.
People have been told to make use of the alternative routes that are available, majorly the Muritala Mohammed and the Eco Bridge. And that was why the Lagos State government moved swiftly to commission the Yaba and the Uyumbu flyover, just to serve as a relief for motorists.
So when work is going on Third Mainland Bridge,
people can use that as alternative routes.
Okay, thank you very much, Olukorede Keisha. But quickly, before I let you off the hook, I want you to give us a quick update on the level of work on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway.
Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, for ease of construction, and because it's a peculiar highway, it's a major highway, it's the busiest in Nigeria, if not West Africa. The construction was phased into 3.
Okay.
The first one was to tackle the main carriageway, which we have delivered 100%. From Lagos to Shagam now, even to Ibadan now, is very free. Okay. So you can go now within the record time of less than 1 hour to Ibadan. Okay. So we have the second phase and the third phase. The second phase comprises of the underpasses and then the interchange and the flyovers. Okay. So the contractor will resume any moment from now to do that.
But and definitely it will be completed in record time.
Oh, the main thing has been delivered. Those ones are just the appurtenances, the attachments to it. At least the highway is a thoroughfare now. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, and that's good news. Thank you for throwing more light on this, so that motorists flying, these routes will not be scared over wasting hours in traffic.
No.
Thank you very much for joining us on Panorama.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Okay, next is Gift Judge, who will be giving us sports updates.
Super Falcons head coach Justin Madugu has called up 21 players to camp ahead of the 13th Women African Cup of Nations qualifiers first leg against the women's football team of Cape Verde. The 9-time African champions would host Cape Verde at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja, on 30th November, before both sides meet for the return leg on December 5th. The Super Falcons made it to the stage of the qualifiers after an aggregate 5-1 victory over Ethiopia. Rashidat Ajibade, Asisat Oshuala, Chiamakan Nadoze, Uchenna Kanu topped the list of invited players who are expected to report at the team's camp in Abuja between 25th and 27th of November. Still talking football, despite a poor start to the 2026 World Cup qualifiers against Lesotho and Zimbabwe with 2 draws, Minister of Sports Development John Eno has charged the Super Eagles to draw inspiration from the millions of sports-loving Nigerians that are rooting for them to excel at the African nations for the 4th time come 2024 in Côte d'Ivoire.
Nigeria is a big football country, and we've got abundant talents. And I think, for example, that again, we need to get the entire Nigerian public the entire Nigerian support base to peacefully and seriously back the Super Eagles as they start this campaign. So this is what they need, and this is what the NFF is giving them.
So right now there is a lot of doubt in the team, but I don't have much to say. It's just what I'm going to say is just for Nigeria to believe in the Super Eagles. Inshallah, we'll do all our best to make them happy.
In handball, Day 7 of the ongoing Andover Handball Premier League in Lagos, Thonja Marine failed in its attempt to keep up with table-toppers Niger United after losing to Rema Strikers 24-23, and Conference Stars were impressive.
And that's Panorama that came to you from the Lagos Network Center of the NTA. We thank you for spending your time with us. I am Adeola Komiakere saying enjoy the rest of your day.